Hey, this is Lorena and I wanted to do a video for you. This is going to be a video of a quilt from my past. I was on my Facebook group and the picture of this quilt came up and it just brought me back to old work. I did do 2 of these for my client, and one was about the size of a throw and one was a king size quilt. So some of the videos or pictures may be from different quilts, but it was the same work in general. This is a Crown Royal quilt. Yes, Crown Royal. And no, I don't drink, sorry, but this is a quilt that was brought to me by a client, and I designed the design that I put on the borders, and it took me a while to figure out how to quilt this for her because she wanted it custom. So this is the custom quilt. Can you believe it? This has footage from when I first started filming on YouTube. Yeah, and she has some footage in there. It was kind of neat finding this footage because when I saw the video on YouTube, it was so bad. The audio was so bad that when I found it on here, I was like, maybe I could go back to memory lane. Now I want you to keep in mind that I used an old GoPro, so the film is not as great, but it still shows the work. So initially what I did is on the Crown Royal quilt, on the star, I went ahead and meandered. The beauty of the simple act of meandering a quilt. You don't have to be fancy pants, you don't have to do fancy work, and you don't need to have a long arm to do meandering, because you could do it on your regular domestic sewing machine. As a matter of fact, I have quilted large quilts just simply doing meandering. And here I meandered around the star, and I used a King Tut bright yellow thread. I don't know the name of it, and I think on my long arm the stitch density was 15 stitches per inch maybe. And I just, from where I started, I traveled all the way around. This really showcases the star popping forward as you stitch down the surrounding surface. Alright, so here's where it gets kind of nitty-gritty. I went ahead and I designed 2 different designs on the horizontal of the border and on the vertical of the border. I went ahead and did a certain specific design, I believe on the horizontal, and what I did is I just literally drew it down on chalk. It took me forever. The second time I cut myself a template. I even think I have a video on how to make a template. I may link it up here, but be aware the audio could be bad. The video could be kind of bad too. So here I'm sharing with you how I long-armed this horizontal border. After I long-armed this border with line work, I used my Stitch in the Ditch ruler. You know how I love that thing. I went ahead and meandered around the ditches so it had these beautiful lines, and it just looks delicious. Delicious. And then on the inside, I had to restart the long arm and travel that diamond area and stop where I finished. So there was a lot of stops and starts when I did the center of these areas. Now on the vertical, there was more stopping and starting because I made myself a whole bunch of, I think I made 4 diamonds on the vertical. On the outside perimeter, I was able to travel all the way around. After I traveled, I did meander all of that line work around it down so that line work popped forward. It just looks delicious. On here, I believe I used another king tut thread. The blue purple. It was beautiful, like a royal purple blue. I don't know. So that's what I did here. Now here's some pictures of that vertical line work that I did. And here are some beautiful pictures of that horizontal line work that I did. The shadowing really showcases how beautiful the quilting is. And you can also see in some of the pictures how my line work was not that great. But as a whole, you don't see the mistakes. So give yourself grace if you're learning how to custom quilt. Be merciful to yourself. Be kind. It's just quilting. And you can unstitch it if you wanted to. I hate it, but you can do it. Now let's talk about the border. On the border, I went ahead and literally marked it all down all the way across, and then I went ahead and quilted from one edge of the quilt and traveled all the way down on the top area of the diamonds. And then I traveled on the bottom side of those diamonds and traveled all the way across on the long arm. That the diamond area that I created, there was a lot of sewing the diamond around and stopping and starting. Sometimes custom quilting, there's a lot of stops and starts, and it's not the funnest, but you know, if you want that detail, you gotta stop and start. But I just wanted to showcase how beautiful just simple meandering and line work can really showcase a quilt. And it's not fancy pants quilting, it's just lines, and it's just meandering, and it's beautiful. And so I wanted to share just some of the process of me doing this and kind of like look back at some of my old videos now that I'm a better editor, I'm better at filming, and I also have a better audio system. All right, I really do hope you like this video, and the next video will be on regular broadcasting, long arm quilting workday. And if you would please consider subscribing this channel first of all, and then consider going to my other channel, Lorena's Lasering. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you for the love for those who've already done that for me, and I appreciate you just being part of my life. I'm so excited that you're here. All right, thank you for watching. Bye.